Yeah. Very good evening, my dear friends, and very happy to be with you in this evening. Again, yesterday I told you about the lifting of corporate veil and then the judicial interpretations. Finally, I have given several judgments of the Supreme Court and then the English courts also. In that respect, I told you, I promised to give you some important judgments covering lifting of corporate veil. I had to do a kind of research on this to argue a case in the High Court. So the High Court judges asked me what is the history. Then I prepared a brief for 16 cases, starting from 1965, ending up in 2016. So I thought, let me share this particular research work with you also. And then I will later on put it in the WhatsApp. Because this is now going to be put in YouTube for the benefit of the readers. In fact, I will put through. I one by one. I will read quickly. You note down. Later on, I will put it in the WhatsApp. I am going to read all these 16 judgments, citations for the simple reason that all the viewers will get the benefit of this. The WhatsApp, what I am going to put that particular sheet may not be put into the YouTube later on. That is not possible. So this kind of speeches, lectures only can be put through. That's the reason why I will go through and read up. Quickly try to note down. This history starts for lifting of corporate veil with various important judgments of the Supreme Court, mostly starting from 1965. I will give you the title of the, case, the parties, then I will also incidentally give you the citation. This is how it goes on. Number one, this is Tata Engineering and Locomotive Company and others versus the state of Bihar and others. Tata Engineering and Locomotive Company Limited and others versus the state of Bihar and others. AIR 1965 SC 40. AIR 1965 SC Supreme Court 40, page number 40. Now, second one, Jugilal Kamalapath, Jugilal Kamalapath versus Commissioner of Income Tax, UP. Jugilal Kamalapath versus Commissioner of Income Tax, UP. AIR 1969, SC 932. AIR 1969, SC 932. Case Workmen Employees Associates Rubber Industry Limited. Workmen Employees Associates Rubber Industry Limited versus Associated Rubber Industry Limited and others. Associated Rubber Industry Limited and others. 1985, Volume 4. 1985, Volume 4, SCC. What does it mean? Supreme Court Cases, SCC. Page number 114. 114. The next case, Life Insurance Corporation of India. Life Insurance Corporation of India versus
Escorts. Escorts.
and others. That is the famous LIC versus Escorts case. AIR 1986 SC. AIR 1986 SC 1370. 1370. The great Krishnayar in this case observed, if you remember Mr. Murthy, that the elephants fight and the deers die in between. And he compared the elephants to the big industries, big corporates who fight in this particular power struggle. It is a beautiful case, so please go through it. LIC versus Escorts Limited and others, AIR 1986, SC 1370. In fact, friends, for research purpose, corporate laws, you find a lot of material. And then you can do a lot of research, a lot of contributive work. You can contribute a lot with your maturity. You are all middle aged, so you all have enough experience of life, enough experience of the subject matter, and then professional experience. So definitely you choose such kind of topics, and then you can definitely lifting of corporate will itself can be a thesis subject for you, PhD as well as LLM thesis. That is how you have to work out. Be innovative, be creative, and then be contributive. That is where I will feel proud of my students. So give me that pride, that opportunity, and give me the chance to congratulate you at the earliest. Okay? Then we will proceed further. State of UP and others versus State of UP and others versus Renu Sagar Power Company and others. This is a landmark judgment, friends. Renu Sagar Power Company, and a lot of issues came in constitutional, corporate, and then lifting of corporate wheel. You find the multifaceted issues came in, and then they were decided. The judgment is short and sweet, and then having very high value. So please take down State of UP and others versus Renu Sagar Power Company and others. Year 1998, SC, Supreme Court, page 1737. 1737. Next case, New Horizons Limited. New Horizons Limited and others versus Union of India and others. New Horizons Limited and others versus Union of India and others. 1995, Volume 1, SCC, Supreme Court Cases, page 478. 1995, Volume 1, Supreme Court Cases, SCC, page 478. The next case, Calcutta Chromite Limited. Calcutta Chromite Limited versus Collector of Central Excise, Calcutta. Calcutta Chromite Limited versus Collector of Central Excise, Calcutta. This is 1998, Volume 3, SCC, 1998, Volume 3, SCC 681, page number 681. The next important case, again, very, in fact, it having far-reaching consequences. The DDA, the Delhi Development Authority versus Delhi Development Authority versus Skipper Construction Company, Private Limited and others. AIR 1996. AIR 1996. SC, Supreme Court, 2005. 2005. Next, Kapila Hingorani versus State of Bihar, 2003, Volume 6, SCC, page 1. SCC, page 1. The next case, friends, Commissioner of Central Excise, New Delhi. Commissioner of Central Excise, New Delhi versus Modi Alkali Chemicals Limited. Modi Alkali Chemicals Limited and others. 2004, Volume 7, Supreme Court Cases, ESCC, page 569. Page 569. The next case, PC Agarwal versus Payment of Wages, Inspector, MP and others. Remember, this is a very peculiar case, friends. PC Agarwal versus Payment of Wages, Inspector, MP and others. What does it mean? Corporate wheel is lifted under labor laws. That's what I told you other day. Statutes. and then common law. So here is a case where it is under statute. And then 2005, volume 8, Supreme Court cases, SCC 104, page 104. Then another very important case, my dear friends. This is Sangram Singh P. Gaikwad. Sangram Singh P. Gaikwad and others versus Shanta Devi Gaikwad. Shanta Devi Gaikwad, brackets dead, through LRs and others. Again, lot of issues were discussed here in lifting the corporate veil. 2005, 11, 2005, 11, volume 11, SCC, Supreme Court cases, page 314. 314. Next, Ella Construction Limited, Visakhapatnam versus Ella Construction Limited versus Visakhapatnam versus East Coast Railway, East Coast Railway, Bhubaneswar and others. East Coast Railway, Bhubaneswar and others, 2006, volume 6, ALD, Andhra Legal Decisions, 460, 2006, volume 6, ALD, 460. Here, this was the judgment of the erstwhile High Court of Andhra Pradesh. Common, it was the combined High Court. Next one, Jainarayan Parasampuria, Jainarayan Parasampuria and others versus Pushpa Devi, Saraf, Pushpa Devi, Saraf, others. 2006, volume 7, SCC, Supreme Court cases, page 756. Come to the next one. That is the most important citation. This is the state of Rajasthan and others versus state of Rajasthan and others versus Gotan Limestone, Gotan Limestone, Kanji Udyog Private Limited, Gotan Limestone Kanji Udyog Private Limited and another. This is the judgment of the Supreme Court, my dear friend. Civil Appeal number 434 of 2016. Civil Appeal number 434 of 2016. Meticulously type the name of the parties, put this number, Supreme Court website, you will get it. Probably you will get now the equivalent citation in reported judgment also. At that time, it was not yet reported. Subsequently, so probably a due search will give you the appropriate citation also. Next, friends, Vodafone International Holdings BV versus Vodafone International Holdings BV versus Union of India and another. Union of India and another. This is called famous Vodafone case on lifting of corporate veil, which is a recent judgment. Most probably, I think before last year it was given, or last year. Vodafone International Holdings BV versus Union of India and another. This is civil appeal number. Take down civil appeal number 733 of 2012. What you have to do is you have to click the Supreme Court website, feed this number, feed the parties, and then you will get the entire judgment. If you go to Google, probably you will get the equivalent citations where it is reported also. Okay, maybe SCC index or other index online you had to check up. At the time I was collecting it, probably this was not reported, both the judgments, and both having very false consequences. In fact, I have immediately updated my file because I don't want to take chances. So I immediately updated my file. Citations, anytime we can get it. It's not an issue. But what is important, parties' names and then the name, particular number of the case. That is how you have to study. When you go for research tomorrow for the LL.M thesis also, what is most important, you don't get the citation, you give parties' names, you give the relevant civil number, and then date of the judgment in the Supreme Court website. That is more than enough. Examination point of view, in examination, parties' names are quoted enough. Citations you don't give. But when you give research, in the footnotes you have to give this particular. If you don't give the citation, you give this way. The civil appeal number and the date and then the parties' names. That would be enough. And you can say at that particular point of time, it was not yet reported. So that is how the research scholar in international standards will have to present his particular research thesis. I time and again tell you, you have to read Solomon, person, his concept on person and personality, where Solomon has specifically made out a case against the corporates and said for corporates, it is fine, for persons running the corporates who are offenders and offense is proved, they will undergo imprisonment as well as fine. So this concept, don't forget, companies are punishable. There is no exemption. You can't say it has no physical body. How can it be punished? Don't say that. Now you are lawmen. You can't say that. Companies are equally punishable along with this particular people who are involved. Corporate wheel is lifted. The company is punishable with fine, and then persons involved would be punished with imprisonment as well as fine. This is the concept made out by Solomon in his jurisprudence. You had to understand this is technically called corporate jurisprudence. Remember, this is a technical word. This is technically called corporate jurisprudence. And Solomon has very meticulously written about it. Not now, you have chosen law, till your last breath, you had to hold the knowledge of law with you. You are a lawyer, there is no retirement. There is no retirement. You are a judge, then later on you come back as a lawyer, unless you are a Supreme Court judge. Most of the High Court judges again resume practice in Supreme Court. Am I right? And then as NCLT member, I went there, I came back, again I resumed my practice. Almost I got 35 years standing in the bar and I resumed my practice now, again back to the legal profession. So there is no retirement for us. For that reason, I tell you, these concepts also should not be forgotten. We are students for life. So keep on your table, preferably the Solomon's book. Purchase it and keep it with you, so that will be of great help to you. In the same way, Dias jurisprudence also. First you go for Solomon and read the person and personality and then corporates, wherein the concept was expounded. This is called corporate jurisprudence. That is what you have to understand. Then friends, you can go to Dias also. You can go to other books also. There are a number of books. But this is the first book, then the Dias. Please don't forget, without reading that, your study of corporate laws is incomplete. You must have a jurisprudential perspective. The reason being, tomorrow corporate governance, an important subject comes. That corporate governance, my lectures are there for your seniors, fourth years, available in YouTube. Available in YouTube. In fact, what I will do is, all the lectures I have given to your seniors, I will connect them and give the link to you today, if possible, all the link in 2 segments. You click it and what you call it, click the upwards upload, then you will find all about 40-50 lectures. It will be on IBC, it will be on corporate governance, it will be on the international concept of company law, it will be on SECRA, SEBI, and then NBFCs, and then FEMA. So if you feel it is of some use to you in any way, you can make use of that. It is, in fact, for university students only I designed, and that is free of cost, so that you can make use of that. I will give that link in your WhatsApp. I will put the link in the WhatsApp, that you take advantage of that, and whatever best you can do, please do it. So, friends, with this background, I conclude my discussion on the lifting of corporate wheel. So today, with all these important judgments of the Supreme Court, we conclude our discussion. I will put this, if possible, getting a citation, I will put it in the WhatsApp, and then later on you can correct it. And then, meanwhile, this would be useful for those who could not see the material in WhatsApp. They will hear to me, then they can take the particular prints. Now, these prints you must make out a bundle. That you take the prints, take out a bundle, spiral, then keep it for your research. Because now on this concept, these are all the most important citations. Invariably, you have to study. You can't miss any single case of what I have given to you right now. So I hope now you understand. With this background, we'll proceed further, my dear friends.